Well, greetings everyone. It's such an honor to be here today to talk about what we are doing in Gary, Indiana. Just want to give a little background about who I am. I am Alexis Nelson. I am a social worker and I'm also a certified life coach, and I am an ordained minister. Everything I do is centered around being a light to our community. And I'm so excited about the work that we're doing. And I just want to share a little bit about myself and then what we're doing. Next slide. So I'm going to talk about trauma-informed communities, because we need to be informed as communities, because there are so many different challenges that our people, our citizens are having in the communities. And in order to not re-traumatize, we have to educate our communities. And it's not just individuals, but the police, the teachers, all the community workers, so we can better be informed, we can help them with the services that they need. Next slide, please. I am Alexis Nelson, as I stated. Next slide, please. I am happily married to David Nelson, who we partner with impacting the community. I am a mother of 3 wonderful children who are all unique in their own way: David, Micah, and Zakaria. I am an author of Zooey Mama Special Like Me and Sing Mommy Sing. I have another book coming soon called Zooey Mama Meets Auntie Red. Now, just a little background about Zooey Mama. Zooey Mama is my daughter. She has exceptional abilities. And I get so many questions about, well, how do you communicate with her? Because she doesn't speak. How do you teach her what to do? And so I decided to write a book about her, because I always say, disability does not mean inability. And because people are not informed, I like to educate them. It's a big, big deal in the exceptional community where they have lack of resources or the support that they need or the education they need to help meet the needs of their children and other family members. So I'm really an advocate when it comes to that community, letting people know that, again, disability does not mean disability. My daughter has transitioned. She's 13 years old now. And when I tell you, just like my other kids, she's quite a unique, assertive individual. And she has taught me so much in this journey. She began her MINSEE. This is a subject that we don't talk about in the community. And it's a huge subject because people ask the question, how are you going to teach a child who does not speak in sentences and who they say has cognitive disability how to change her maxi pads? And it's uncomfortable. People don't want to talk about it. But I talk about it because we need to know. I like to encourage people that it can be done. Just like we're taught and just like we learn, she can too. And she knows how to do these things. And I teach people not to give up, to be encouraged, because all things are possible when you believe. The center of everything I do is with Christ. I am a believer. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I share that, because that is what allows me to continue to do what I do and to shed light to others who are in need of services. Next slide. Again, I am the CEO of Coaching for a Purpose and BEST. And BEST is Be Exceptional Support Together. I work with families who have children with special needs, adults with special needs, and it's not just disabilities, it could be those who have been exposed to trauma. And so we give support groups and services to these individuals so they can also have everything, all the tools they need. We bring other parents together who have experienced different disparities, and they have found resources to help their families, and we allow them to connect so they can empower one another, and all those things that's coming against them, there will be no more. Next slide. Health clinic. Now this is a primary care facility where we give health care to those who are uninsured. In the city of Gary, we have a lot of people who are not insured. And it could be blue collar workers, they're working but they can't afford the health coverage. And we want to eliminate disparities. So Health Clinic is holistic efforts limiting preventable sicknesses. And so we go out into the community and we see those who are in need and we give them the care that they need. Not only are we giving them health care, we connect a life coach with each patient because yes, they may have diabetes, but let's talk about how can we change this? What can we do to create a healthier environment for you? So we give them a plan and we meet with them after they see the primary physician. And we get volunteers to come in to help assist with this. We have a lot of different people that we partner with to impact our community. And we're so excited about it because we know that we are going to change that culture. We're going to allow people to see that it's okay to come get checked out before we have to go to the emergency rooms because we can prevent that. A lot of these health disparities are preventable. And one thing we have found is because people don't know, they perish. And so we want to make sure that we inform them so they can be healthier. Next slide. So this is the application part. So if you have your phones or paper, I'd like you to take out your phones and paper. We're going to do just a quick exercise. And this is what we do with our clients, our patients, and all those that we come together with to let them see purpose because we are committed to shining a light. We're committed to letting people see that they're worth it, and we do this with our goal setting technique. So I want you to think of a goal. It could be a business goal, it could be a personal goal, relationship goal, and I want you to write that goal down. For example, my goal is to limit my Starbucks intake. My. And let me tell you what they did. I was doing so good, everybody. So I drive around the corner, they decided to put a Starbucks in my community. And I said, oh Lord, I love Starbucks. And I said, how am I going to not stop at Starbucks? It's right there, it's on the corner. My goal is to decrease my Starbucks intake. So, I write this goal down, but there's 3 obstacles that get in the way. So next I want you to write down your 3 obstacles that is trying to get in the way of you meeting your goal. My obstacle, they put a Starbucks right there on the corner. I passed it, it's hard, I can't. My second obstacle is, I have no intention of stopping Starbucks. I want to drink it, I like it. My next obstacle, I just feel I have to have it. I just do. Which, in all reality, I don't. And so I write down my 3 obstacles, and now I know this is the thing that keeps getting in my way of me meeting my goal. So now I have to come up with 3 action steps for each of those obstacles. And I'm a firm believer of turning obstacles into opportunities. And so I said, okay, hello obstacles. Here's opportunity. So what are my action steps? I know Starbucks is on the corner, so now I know I need to take another route. I'm not gonna do the same thing because I know if I go this way, I'm stopping at Starbucks. It's happening. And then my next obstacle, okay, I just have to have it. I had to tell myself, this is a myth, this is not true, I'll be okay, I'll be able to get throughout the day without getting Starbucks. And then you do that with each action step. And then you come up with these action steps and you achieve your goal. It's not the goal itself that's so important, it's the steps you take to get to it. And so when we do this, with everything we do, whatever goal you may have in mind, it helps us reach our destination. So keep that goal set in mind when you're doing things and you're trying to reach a goal because it really is helpful. Sometimes we write down goals and we miss the next 2 steps and then the goal doesn't follow through. So when you make one, make sure you see what's getting in the way of it and come up with some action steps. Next slide, please. So how to impact our communities. Next slide. Partnerships. I've heard throughout this training, which is an awesome training. I have learned so much from the people that come up here, and I hear the word crew. I call them my tribe. You have to have a tribe. You can't do everything on your own. Some things, you know, you can do, but not all things. And when you're trying to impact the community, you have to collaborate. We take a multidisciplinary approach when we're working with the community because we can't. You need to know who the gatekeepers are. Who is that person in the community? You need that person that's up there fighting with the policies. But everyone has a particular area that they can help in. And we need to do that and collaborate so we can make an impact in our communities. Next slide. These are some of the partners that we partner with, and there are some more, but Bridges of Possibility is one of our partners, and Bridges of Possibility is a center where they do speech, occupational, and physical therapy with children with disabilities. We have to reach out to them. We partner. We work together so we can impact our community. We have Faith Temple of Christ. There's so many things that we do, from Bread of Life, we're feeding people. We have mentorship programs. We have different activities. We provide counseling, and we impact our community, not just in Gary, but we hit the Northwest Indiana area. And so, in the School of Social Work, Indiana University, I'm a field instructor for the students there, and what I do is we connect with the Recovery Cafe that's in Gary, and we send students out there to work with the addictions program, both at the Recovery Cafe and Emma's house. And I go over social work principles with them. I prepare them to work with different populations, and we partner with them because that's an assist. It helps us when we're trying to meet the needs, because there's so many people out there in need of services. We cannot do this alone. Next slide, please. And I said Recovery Cafe, and this is such an awesome program. Pastor Hurdle, he's awesome, and he's doing a lot of great things with the Recovery Cafe. We also work with child care centers. We get them trauma informed. We have to educate them on the different people that's coming into the child care now. There are many children that's coming in that's on the spectrum, and we have to educate them and teach them how to work with our babies, because what we don't want to do is re-traumatize. And also Computer Skills and Training Center. We are preparing those with skill sets so they can go out in the community and work. Apostle Walton is over a lot of many different things, and he's doing great things in Gary, Indiana, and not just Gary, but our surrounding communities. And we're training people so they can have computer skills, different trades, so they can go into the workforce and impact our communities. We see violence, we're seeing so many different things in the community, but because we need to do more as it relates to preparing them for the workforce and educationally as well. Next, please. So trauma-informed care communities. Next, please. What is trauma? Next, please. So, trauma-informed care is a treatment that provides whole person care by avoiding re-traumatization and creating a welcoming and safe environment for everyone, including those who have experienced trauma. The foundation of TIC, which we call trauma-informed care, can be summarized by the 4 R's. Next, please. Realize, recognize, respond, and resist re-traumatization. Realize contributions to trauma. We have poverty. We see incarceration. We have violence in our homes, in the community, childhood, maltreatment, so many different things, severe injury or illnesses. We have to realize what contributes to trauma, homelessness, interactions with police, not having enough food in the home, sexual assault or abuse, natural disasters, disease, outbreak, COVID. And we need to recognize the impacts of trauma. Individuals who experience trauma and lack of support from others may adapt in ways that negatively impact their health. And we see the behaviors, we see the drug use, we see the alcohol use, the overeating, gambling, so many different things that contribute to trauma. And now we have individuals that's coming into our different facilities and we see mistrust, they're guarded, easily startle aggression, fear of expressing basic needs, social withdrawal. We see health conditions that can be treated, that can be prevented. All of these things is a result to trauma. And then we respond and resist to traumatization. So what hurts systems? Having to continually retell their story. Sometimes when people have to retell their trauma, it's very, very difficult for them. They have to relive it over and over and over again. So for us to be informed, we have to recognize, okay, well maybe instead of us, what happened to you? What's going on with you? What's wrong with her? Something is wrong. So what is her story? And being gentle when we're trying to get them to repeat and tell their stories, because trauma is real and it shows itself in many different areas. And if we're not gentle, we can re-traumatize people. We see it a lot in the special needs community. Again, that's something that I'm an advocate for. We see children being misused and misled, and child abuse was on the rise. And so what can we do to impact this population, to give them what they need so this will not happen? We're better together, and when we work together and we connect with other agencies that can provide the service, because we can't do it all. We need each other. Each one reach one, each one teach one, and if we are a community and we're working together, we can break this cycle of re-traumatization. We need one another, and it's so important that we realize it, recognize it, respond, and resist re-traumatizing people. Next. And you can keep going. Next, 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 and next. Next. Okay, next. So, again, this is some things that we can look for. Being treated as a number. Procedures that require disrobing, being seen as their label, no choice in service or treatment, no opportunity to give feedback about the experience with the service delivery. These are people, not just a number. These are people that have experienced things that, some of us can't even imagine experiencing. We have to handle it with TLC, tender loving care. And if we don't have a relationship and we don't build a rapport with the people that are hurting, it just causes damage in so many areas. So we really need to know what is hurting our people that have experienced trauma. Next. Not being seen or heard, violating trust. One thing in the community that I serve, trust is a big issue. Promises being made, not kept. People going to physicians and not getting the proper care, or they're being labeled because they're already discounted before they get in there. Again, these are people that matter, and we have to show that and recognize these things are happening and it's causing trauma in our communities. Next. That's all I have. If you want to get in connection, I would love for you all to come up to Gary, Indiana, the tour, because the clinic is located in Gary, Indiana, and we love to partner with other people that can give services to those that we serve. Again, we're trying to impact this city like never before. We want to make sure that people are getting the care that they need in a safe environment. We believe in collaboration. We know that it takes just more than one organization to meet the needs of the community. We have homelessness on the rise where we are now. It's like never before. We're actually seeing more people on the street. We have trafficking. This is something we didn't even think we had in Maryville and Gary, but it is. We have our homeless people, they're taking up station in the motels now. And so now we have to bring food to them. Some of them have mental health disorders, and so we need therapists, we need counselors, peer coaches, all those people that were up here speaking on those services, is needed in our community. And I know I always say teamwork make the vision work. If we all come together, we can make a difference. Thank you for your time.